Just gonna quickly go over what I've done to it. Shitty $30 Amazon exhaust. Not get that. What is this? Crash Industries 12 bar. Clapped suspension. Done by yours truly. Fucked up stay. Did 60% clutch springs. That was like the biggest thing that changed the ability to do wheelies. And I feel like there's more. I think that's it. Clutch springs. Did a new top end on it because I had to. Oil pump. The straight up pumps, oil pump. I think that's it. But I don't know. It's pretty I did new brakes, but I would have stuck with the stock rotor. I wouldn't change the rotor. But today we're gonna show how to do wheelies. So first thing I would do is just get really comfortable with the rear brake. Just like to the point where, I mean, like, obviously you should be comfortable riding a motorcycle before you even fucking try wheelies. But first couple days you're doing this, I would just say, like, give it a little bit of gas in first, let it go up a little bit, and then just tap it down with the rear brake and just do that over and over again until you're super comfortable. Then get higher and higher and give it more gas and more gas, and eventually you can bring it up to balance point. Kind of be able to like ride it for a second, then you'll give it more gas and more gas. You'll probably loop a couple times at first, but you can get away with very little braking first because there's so much engine braking. But just try to keep your throttle hand as smooth as possible, and don't chase them out unnecessarily. Just keep bringing it down with the rear brake so you have it like in your muscle memory. Then eventually ride them like it's nothing. Like little adjustments, little gas, little brake. And that's for first gear. Oh, I did adjust the gearing on this. I gave 1 down to the front and 3 up in the rear. This bike definitely doesn't have as much power as a stock grom. Like, the valves are super fucked. So it just physically doesn't have as much power. You have to give it a little bit more. So it'll come up easier for anybody with a less fucked grom. For second gear, I like being at like 4 or 5k RPM, somewhere in there, and just bounce the shit out of it. Cruise around balance, come back and dip. Damn near scrape, almost a scrape. But oh yeah, the seat cover. I like the seat cover a lot. It fucking holds you on better than the stock one where you slide around. My pants fucking are not tight. Hold on, let me tighten them up because I almost slid off the back. That would have been fucking unlucky. But honestly, like, it's gonna take some practice and you're probably gonna loop out a couple times. So I would say, based on personal, like, I've seen people with like minty groms just fuck them up. Get a like a sub cage and then just send it. Like, sub cage will protect it for the most part. Maybe some axle sliders if you really care. And just, you know, give it gas, like throw your body weight forward a little bit, but don't like hunch. And you want to like use your hips to like fucking push the bike as you're coming up. Like you almost want to like hump the bike. It sounds weird, but it you don't want to be pulling with your arms a shit ton. Like I like using my legs and my hips to get it up. You like wave to the camera. Your leg. Then dip it. Catch it with the rear brake. Slow it way the fuck down. You can honestly get away with such little rear brake, especially on these bikes. Like on bigger bikes, this is not fucking true. But the engine braking and the lack of power, like you can really just get away. Like I'm gonna show how little. Like I'll let you know when I'm hitting the brake. Oh, hold on. It's all throttle. Just letting go of it whenever I get to balance point, let it coast for a second. Brake right there. Brake. Brake. You kind of get the idea. Like you don't want to ride the brake because that'll cause you to cook your fucking what's it called? Your brake fluid. Speaking of which, I did do steel braided brake lines. That's like the number one thing you should do, because you're probably going to ride the brakes when you first start, especially if you remove the return spring, which I would advise you do, just because it takes away the play in the foot brake. So it really, like when you touch the brake, there isn't a guess of like whether you're hitting it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's engaging as soon as you're putting pressure on it. You really don't have to, when you're giving it brake, especially when you're just trying to do smooth wheelies, you're just giving it like a very light tap. Straighten her up. Especially in first gear. First gear has so much engine braking that you really, you use so little brake. Right there, that's the first time I tapped it. So yeah, like you don't use much brake. Like you give it a little tap just to keep her kind of like, you know, like honestly you could probably get away with not a lot of the times that I do. Like I overuse the brake a little bit, and that's one reason I'm like having issues straightening. Is I'm just like pressing the brake too early. But yeah, like not much pressure. Like if the throttle was the brake, you know what I'm saying? And you want to like, if I'm trying to show you how much brake I'm using, like full throttle obviously being like locking the rear tire up, it would be like that. Like very, very small adjustments. One thing that helped me a lot, learning like, getting really comfortable. Now, you can like, some people have nicer rear sets, which I'll probably eventually get, or just make my own. But they do the solid mount rear sets, which is like the stump peg right here, so they can lock their foot. Because when you lock your foot, especially when you're dipping back and doing one-handed stuff, it really just like helps you like lock into the bike. It helps me a lot, at least, just like with peace of mind. That keeps me comfortable. But when you can't, like with this bike, it's super collapsed and fucked, I'll shift up and then leave my foot there, and it's gonna stay in second gear, but it won't allow it to go into third gear. So it's literally just gonna hold you in second gear, and then you can hold your weight against the shifter. I would probably suggest if you're gonna do this, get like a hard mount shifter and don't get the shitty one with like the stock one which has a linkage in it. But I'm like not. I don't know. I'll do it eventually. I just don't give a fuck right now. Let's see how long we can do a second gear. We might shift into third. I don't know. We get bored. I wouldn't shift from first to second until you're like way comfortable, like shifting mid wheelie. Fuck. Let me try again. That was bad. I don't know. Keep my shit in low RPM too much. Now that idle adjuster in there yet, so I'm really bad about losing power. Really need to get this fucking bitch to really to work to get this bitch to stay up sometimes. But it's, honestly, wheeling groms is a lot about body position. It's like the two biggest things that are gonna keep you in a wheelie or not let you do the wheelie is throttle control, like smooth throttle, and body position. Like, if you're hunched too far over, probably not gonna come up. But at the same time, you don't want to be leaned all the way back. But yeah, so just practice being really smooth on the throttle, covering the rear brake, and absolutely not letting your feet come off the pegs. That's the thing that a lot of people will do, is they get scared and their feet come off the pegs, which is like, then you're about to send your shit to the moon, you know? But yeah, just practice, bro. Like, I rode a WR250 for, I don't know, 6 months, something like that, a year, somewhere in between there. And I chased a lot of wheelies. I would dip into balance point from time to time, but I was never like cruising like comfortably without shifting through the gears. So these birds don't fuck me up. Now we're good. Slow it down. But yeah, so but yeah, it's really just about finding a spot where you can practice and not being like ashamed, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're riding with people that have ridden before and that are like good at wheelies, you're gonna like feel like you suck, because you do suck.